All right, let's jump right in. Today, we are talking about something that is absolutely essential for any team that wants to be truly great. We're going to break down the secret ingredient that really makes a team click. So, let me just ask you this straight up. I want you to think for a second about the best team you've ever been on. What was it? What was that one thing that just made it all work? Our source material makes it really clear. The answer isn't more talent, it's not more money. It's one simple, powerful word: trust. That right there, that's the bedrock for everything else. So let's get into our first section here, the keystone of teamwork. If you think about a stone arch, the keystone is that one single piece at the very top that locks everything in place. Take it out, and the whole thing comes crashing down. Well, that's exactly what trust is for a team.
So what do we actually mean by trust in this context? Well, it's that feeling, that deep down belief in the reliability and the ability of your teammates. It's the glue, the thing that turns a random bunch of talented individuals into a single, powerhouse unit that actually works together.
And this leads us to a really, really important idea. See, trust isn't something that's built between a senior analyst and a project manager. It's built between human beings. It all kicks off when we start seeing the actual person behind the job title. And here's where it gets really practical. The source we're looking at tells the story about a woman named Marie, and she was just miserable at her job. I mean, who hasn't felt that at some point, right? But instead of just updating her resume, she did something simple, almost revolutionary. She decided to just connect. She started to get to know the people she worked with, and that one tiny shift changed her entire experience. Marie's story is pretty powerful, isn't it? It shows how vital that human connection is. But it also brings up a really good question. Where do you even start? I mean, how do you kick off those conversations so it doesn't feel awkward or forced? Well, here's the good news. It's actually way easier than you think. Our source gives us some fantastic, totally simple conversation starters. These aren't like deep, probing questions. They're just easy, casual ways to learn a little bit more about the person on the other side of that Zoom call. Okay, so we get it. We need to connect. But how do we actually take those little conversations and turn them into real, genuine trust? Let's move on and look at a few concrete actions you can take. Now this right here, this is the core of it. The source boils it all down to 4 key behaviors. First, be genuinely curious about other people. Ask questions and actually care about the answers. Second, and this is so simple but so powerful, use their name. It makes people feel seen. Third is a classic for a reason: just listen. Really listen. Don't just wait for your turn to talk. And last, be tactful. You don't have to call someone out and say, "You're wrong." Find a better way. And the best part is, none of these are personality traits. They are skills. Anyone can practice and get better at them. So when you and your team actually start putting these behaviors into practice, something really amazing starts to take shape. You go beyond just being a group that works together. You actually start creating a shared identity, something the source calls your team's DNA. And this visual just says it all, doesn't it? That shared identity, that's your team's unique genetic code. It's the thing that makes your team different from every other team out there. It's basically your cultural blueprint. So what exactly makes up this DNA? Well, it's the shared answers to some pretty big questions. It's about who you are together, your values. It's what you all like, and just as important, what you all can't stand. And at the end of the day, it's about what you truly believe in as a unit. When you get that kind of alignment, that's a bond that's hard to break. All right, we've talked about the why, the what, and the how. Now it's time for the most important part: actually doing something with this information. It all starts with one simple step. Look, if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's that incredible teamwork isn't some kind of magic. It's not luck. It is the direct result of people intentionally and consistently making an effort to build trust with each other. So I'm going to wrap this up by leaving you with a challenge, a direct one. Think back to those simple questions we looked at. Just pick one and use it today, because building a great team starts with a single conversation. What's yours going to be?